Hi, I'm John McMahon.
And I'm Lou Lewis. Welcome to the fourth in our little video series, burning questions that you want to ask your problem drinker. And we've probably got to the most burning one of all, really, which is there anything I can do to stop my problem drinker from getting drunk? So, was there anything your wife could do?
I think this is very difficult, and it's a difficult question altogether. I think we at Bottled Up don't actually subscribe to the powerlessness, and I don't think that's something that does happen. I mean, I think years ago the people used to think that the only way that the drinker could change was if they were ready to change, and you cannot change a drinker and you're powerless, etc., etc. Science has moved away from that quite some time ago, and social science suggests that you can influence the drinker. You may not be able to make them change, but you can certainly influence it and make it more likely that they will change, and that's something that we do in Bottled Up. As I was saying in the last video, my PhD was about change, and it was about why people change. And people change generally for two reasons. One is that if they keep doing what they're doing, then things are bad. It's not very good outcome. Or they get a better offer. That's kind of it. It's the carrot or the stick. You know, the stick being nasty consequences, the carrot being nice consequences, and you know, as I said, a better offer. What we suggest in Bottled Up is that, you know, the nasty consequences are things that happen with alcohol, and that we shouldn't enable the drinkers anymore. We shouldn't protect them from these nasty consequences. In fact, we should actually detach and let these things happen.
Yeah, I'm going to put my caveat here. Really, do come and listen to what we're saying here, because you have to also think about the consequences. I think to just stop rescuing your drinker and to drop him in it so he loses his job and things like that might have an awful rebound on you. So there needs to be wisdom applied to that. But,
of course.
A lot of the time, I lived with a problem drinker for 30 years, and I did a lot of rescuing, I did a lot of caretaking, and actually, therefore, a lot of the consequences that my drinker, actually I took the consequences and they got away. So what you're actually doing is you're learning to actually not bail them out, and not rescue them, and put the meal in the bin and not leave it for them when they don't turn up and things like that. So there's quite a lot of information in that about our website. So that's the kind of the push, if you like. So
that's the stick part of it.
Okay, so what's the carrot?
The carrot part of it is that, well, I remember as a drinker that you know, I would waken up in the morning after the night before, and my wife would be sitting on the end of the bed, ready with her list of complaints, and I'm not blaming her in the slightest. I would have done exactly the same. But that tended to carry on for quite some time. You know, I thought my wife had taken a vow of silence for some time. You know, because she just never spoke to me, and I used to think, well, why bother getting sober? You know, now I know that's a difficult thing to do, but what I'm saying is that if there's not a nice thing to get sober for, then would they actually get sober? You know, so I have to think about that. Now, that's one of the things that we talk about in Bottled Up, is that we talk about optimising your time with them when they are sober, you know, and starting to value them as a person. So that provides the actual carrot, you know. So do you want to get sober? Why? I want to get sober because I want to spend time with a woman or a man that loves me, you know, rather than spend time with somebody who is actually beating me up all the time, you know, verbally, you know, emotionally, etc. So
a better psychological approach is not go, you dirty rotten rat, but oh, I really missed you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to do that, you need to be able to learn to detach, and we talk a lot about that in the Bottled Up program. That first of all, detaching in love and actually taking yourself away, having other places to kind of dump the high emotional content that you feel when somebody is drunk. And certainly, this is not easy. But I certainly have to say that over the 30 years when I lived with my problem drinker, I had to learn to stop doing a lot of things before I could start doing things that would make it easier for myself and my family. And certainly in my situation, it brought a lot of containment to what felt like a very uncontrolled situation, so it was really helpful.
I think what I have to say here is, please hear, this is a 2-3 minute video, this is a very complex question, and we're trying to answer it very quickly here. Please, it's difficult to do justice unless you actually look at the materials in Bottled Up.
Yeah, so the short answer is yes, there is something you can do. It's unlikely to be the things that you're doing at the moment. If you're watching this video, you're probably feeling a bit desperate for answers. And as I said on one of the other videos, unfortunately living with someone with addiction is very counterintuitive. If somebody loves you, normally if you sit down and say, look, this is really pissing me off, will you do something about it, they will make some attempt. But often with a problem drinker, if there's addiction there, you can say that, and actually it's as if they go out and immediately get drunk just to spite you. What's actually happening is the guilt button has been pushed and they feel really ashamed, and if they could get to the bottom of the bottle, then that shame doesn't feel so intense. So understanding your drinker, which is partly why we're doing these videos in the first place, is understanding the complex mind of the drinker is partly helpful in learning how to go forward in your situation. Do come and join us. There'll be lots of people there. You can actually dare to tell to the one group of people who understand how difficult it is for you to let your secret out, and also can understand what you're going through. So do come and join us at Bottled Up. Come and get some of the help, but also come and meet a community of people who will support you through the very thing that will have brought you to this video in the first place. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back doing videos very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Okay, that was good. Good, that'll do me.